is Trivia for Kids, where it's not just for adults anymore.
Okay, remember, we don't ever know what to say to start, so hey!
Hey!
Thanks for listening to episode 35 of the Trivia for Kids podcast. I'm Casey.
We've made it to 35. Yes, I'm Quinn.
We have made it to 35.
Yes.
Quinn and I just got back from volleyball practice. I was the coach, though.
Uh-huh.
And you were the player.
Yes, I love volleyball.
It was very fun. You guys did a great job. All
Thanks.
the girls got along. Everybody listened.
Mhm.
You guys have grown a lot in your year off from the sport, so that was good.
Mhm.
And it's a beautiful night, and everybody's playing outside.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this podcast.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go play outside, right?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yep.
Yeah. We got to get the enthusiasm here, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We got a really great joke this week. I love it. It's from a listener named
Braden.
And I think if I remember right, Braden is from Washington, D.C. Cool, huh? Our nation's capital.
Can I say the joke of the week?
Sure.
What do you call a can opener that doesn't work?
Broken.
A can't opener. Yeah.
Can't opener. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we get started?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's how the show works. Trivia for Kids consists of 5 rounds with 7 questions each. We will announce the answers at the end of each round. Each new round will have a different category. After the 5th round, we will have the final exam, which will test you on the toughest questions we have covered in the previous rounds. Everyone ready? Let's get started.
Round number 1. The category is the movie Luca. A big thanks to the jokester of the week, listener Braden. Question 1. Luca transforms into a human from what kind of creature? Question 2. What is Luca's best friend's name? Question 3. What kind of vehicle do Luca and his friend want to buy? Question 4. What is the name of the race that Luca competes in? Question 5. Where does Luca go in Genoa at the end of the movie? Question 6. What did Luca think stars were before Julia told him? Question 7. Where does Luca punch his uncle to bring him back to life?
And now the answers to round 1. Question 1. Luca transformed into a human from what kind of creature?
A sea monster. So Luca was a sea monster first, and then I've never seen Luca. I know you guys have watched it quite a bit, but he's a sea monster and then he becomes a human?
So he is a sea monster, but they're actually not really sea monster. They're like fish. They look like humans, but they're like fish. They have gills and they have scales and they have fins, but once they come out of water, after the water all splashes off of them, the scales remove and the scales turn into hair, but they turn into a human after they come out of the water.
Cool. Okay.
Question 2. What is Luca's best friend named?
Alberto. Is that how they say it?
Yeah.
Alberto. No, Alberto.
Alberto.
Yep.
Yeah. Question 3. What kind of vehicle do Luca and his friend want to buy?
A Vespa. I want a Vespa.
I do too.
I'd cruise around the Italian countryside in my Vespa.
I would too, but
I'd cruise around the Iowa countryside.
yes, that's what I
in
was
my
just gonna
Vespa.
say.
Or the
Yeah.
Iowa town.
Question 3. What is the name of the race that Luca competes in?
The Porta Rosa Cup. The Porta Rosa.
No,
Cup.
they go Rosso. Porto Rosso.
Oh.
That's how they say it. That's how it's spelled, though.
Oh, I see.
It's spelled Rosa, but they say Rosso.
Okay. Well, we'll give you a credit for either option.
Question 5. Where does Luca go in Genoa at the end of the movie?
To school. So he doesn't go back into the sea? Or does he
So they win and they get the Vespa.
go?
But then Alberto sells it so that he can buy a ticket for Luca to go to school and to go on the train to the way to school.
Oh, that's nice.
And they had like this giant fit, and he still did that afterwards.
Oh, what a good friend.
Question 6. What did Luca think stars were before Julia told him?
Fish. Just floating around in the sky.
Yeah, and they said the moon was the big fish that protects the little fish. Question 7. Where does Luca punch his uncle to bring him back to life?
In the heart? Oofta.
His name was Uncle Ugo, and he lives in like the depths of the sea, so he doesn't need that much oxygen. So he comes back up, and he's getting too much oxygen, so he like stops breathing, and he has to punch his heart.
Jeez.
No, so
Like
you can
his
see his
chest?
heart. You can see his heart through his chest. He's like
Wow.
a see-through, so you just punch him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Round number 2. The category is word facts. Question 1. What are the only 2 words in the English language that end in the letters G, R, Y? Question 2. The covering at the end of a shoelace is called what? An aglet, a singlet, or a tielet? Question 3. What is a word called that can be spelled the same forwards as it is backwards? Question 4. What is the pretend language called that is made by placing the first consonants of each word and the sound A at the end of the word? For example, the word shut becomes utshe and the word door becomes orde. Question 5. What is the formation of a word based on the sound associated with it, such as cuckoo, hiccup, sizzle, and ping pong? Question 6. What is a goat's beard called? Question 7. Even though there's really no way to know for sure, which language is said to have more words than any other language? And now the answers to round number 2. Question 1. What are the only 2 words in the English language that end in the letters G, R, Y?
Angry and hungry.
Angry and hungry, which together make
Hangry.
hangry.
That's the third word.
Right? Even though that's not a real word, but
Oh.
you definitely are a person who gets hangry.
I get very hangry.
Yes. Question 2. The covering at the end of a shoelace is called a what? An aglet, a singlet, or a tielet?
An aglet. Aglet.
Aglet? Aglet? Aglet. Aglet. Question 3. What is a word called that can be spelled the same forwards as it is backwards?
A palindrome. Like the words noon, kayak, and race car. What's a noon?
What's a noon?
Yes. What's a noon?
The time of day.
Oh, I thought it was like a word that you call someone.
Isn't taco cat a palindrome too?
Yeah, taco cat. There's also one like race fast, safe car.
Oh, that's right.
And there's one like UFO tofu.
Ooh, I like those.
Uh-huh.
Question 4. What is the pretend language that is made by placing the first consonants of each word and the sound A at the end of the word? For example, the word shut becomes utshe and the word door becomes orde.
Pig Latin.
Have you ever heard of Pig Latin?
No.
Inque,
No.
Inque and ACK here on the Oddcast Pay. Unite for uye. Did you know what I
You
said
lost
there?
me. No.
I said Quinn and Casey on the podcast tonight for you.
Oh. I don't know Pig Latin. I'm sorry.
Question 5. What is the formation of a word based on the sound associated with it, such as cuckoo, hiccup, sizzle, and ping pong?
Onomatopoeia.
I did not think that this is what an onomatopoeia was. I'd heard of that word before.
I knew this.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of any other words I can think of that sound like what they are.
Honk.
Oh, honk's a good one.
Bark.
Whistle.
Whistle.
Question 6. What is a goat's beard called?
A goatee.
A goatee. I thought this one was so funny. Men have goatees.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Flynn Rider has a goatee.
I didn't know that goats had goatees, but it makes sense.
I thought they were just beards.
Beards, right?
Yes.
When a goat's beard, it should just be a beard.
A beard of the goat.
Right. What's goatee? Question 7. Even though there's no way to actually know for sure, which language is said to have more words than any other language?
Believe it or not, it's English.
English, which does make sense if you think about it. We have nieces that live in Italy, so they speak Italian, and they say they like to read books in English versus Italian because we have so many more words that they're more descriptive, and they like to read them better because it paints a better picture than in Italian. Because like one word will mean, so like the word, I don't know, bellissima means pretty and cute and beautiful. So we have so many different words that mean the same word over there. It's like bellissima, pretty, cute, adorable.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
So a lot of. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Round 3. The category is, now that's cold. Question 1. When lightning occurs with a snowstorm, what is it called? Question 2. On average, how many colds per year does a child get? Question 3. What is formed by glaciers on land that drift out to sea? Question 4. During the Great Depression, what carnival treats were called hard time sundaes because they were cheap to make? Question 5. What type of animal has special antifreeze-like chemicals in and around their cells that allow them to nearly freeze solid, then hop back to life after they thaw? Question 6. If you are very nervous or have a lack of courage or confidence, you are said to have what? Question 7. What is it called when an animal sleeps through winter?
Round 3 answers. Question 1. When lightning occurs with a snowstorm, what's it called?
Thunder snow. And it's cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like in the middle of a snowstorm, there will be clouds, but then you can see lightning in the clouds. Thunder snow. It's cool.
Oh, I've never seen that. Have you?
Not
Cool.
often. It does not happen often. I saw it once when we lived in Colorado, and I think I saw it once here.
Cool. Question 2. On average, how many colds per year does a child get?
8. That's a lot, but I don't know. I might have guessed more.
Yeah.
I feel like
same.
we're
I'd be
sick
like-
all the time, especially when we're all in school and
Yeah.
yeah.
Question 3. What is formed by glaciers on land that drift out to sea?
Icebergs. Icebergs straight ahead. That's from the movie Titanic. That's what the guy who's like the lookout says when because that's how the Titanic sinks, is it hits an iceberg, and he goes,
Oh.
"Iceberg straight ahead."
Was it too heavy to turn in time?
Yeah, they didn't see it, and they crashed right into it, and the ship just broke in half.
How many people died?
A lot, most of them. Wah wah.
Question 4. During the Great Depression, what carnival treats were called hard time sundaes because they were cheap to make?
Snow cones.
Huh.
Hard time Sundays. Ice and juice.
Wait, wasn't the Great Depression where there was like no water?
The Great Depression was when everybody had no money
Oh,
in the 1930s. So nobody had any money, so they couldn't sell ice cream
Thought it was a-
sundaes,
I
so
thought
they
it
had
was a
hard time
drought.
Sundays.
So-
What? Same thing. So
but I was like, if there's a drought, how do they make snow cones? Snow cones are made out of water.
Well,
How are they cheap to make then?
you can still get water out of the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people were poor because of the drought. So in the dirty 30s, there was no, rain, and so the farmers couldn't make the crops, and people didn't have food to eat, and nobody had money because a lot of people were farmers, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's a sad time.
Mm-hmm. Question 5. What type of animal has special anti-freeze-like chemicals in and around their cells that allow them to nearly freeze solid, then hop back to life after they thaw?
Wood frogs.
I knew that type of frog could become really cold, then freeze, and then thaw, and then
Right, and
Come
then
back
be
to
totally alive again. I didn't know they were wood frogs, but I had heard of this also, which is crazy.
Question 7. If you are very nervous or have a lack of courage or confidence, you are said to have what?
Cold feet. Do you know when specifically people are said to have cold feet?
When they're in a giant crowd?
I would say before they get married. People say oh, does the groom have cold feet?
Oh. I mean, yes, I suppose that makes a lot of sense now. Question 7. What is it called when an animal sleeps through winter?
Hibernation. What kind of animals do you know that hibernate?
I know. I know bears hibernate. There are a lot, but I can't really. I think porcupine.
You know what? I'm not even sure other than bears. I won't even wager a guess. We know that bears hibernate.
We know that.
And wood frogs.
It's a fact. Yes, and wood frogs. Do they age when they're in the?
I'm sure they have to age some. I
Or do
mean,
they freeze and come out the same age that they were before?
that's a good thought. They're cryogenically frozen and they come out the same age. But I don't think so. Round 4. The category is Alice in Wonderland. This idea comes from listener Bailey. Thanks, Bailey. Question 1. At the tea party, the Mad Hatter and the March Hare destroy what item belonging to the White Rabbit? Question 2. What does the Queen of Hearts normally shout when she is very angry with someone? Question 3. What is the name of the poem that the Cheshire Cat sings? Question 4. What is the name of Alice's cat? Question 5. As the White Queen is making the potion to return Alice to her normal size, she lists off ingredients. These ingredients are worm fat, urine of horsefly, 3 coins from a dead man's pocket, buttered fingers, and 2 teaspoons of wishful thinking. What is the last thing the queen does to make the potion complete? Question 6. The flowers force Alice out of their garden because they think she is a what? Question 7. What game are Alice and the Queen of Hearts playing with flamingos and hedgehogs? And now the round 4 answers. Question 1. At the tea party, the Mad Hatter and the March Hare destroy what item belonging to the White Rabbit?
A pocket watch.
The White Rabbit mentions that for his unbirthday present, he received a pocket watch. However, he mentions that it has stopped working. The Mad Hatter and the March Hare therefore try to fix it. In their efforts, they actually end up smashing it to pieces instead.
Oh no.
But
That
since
would-
it's
that
broken,
would've
it only tells the right time 2 times a day.
Huh.
Do you get why? Because if the watch stopped at like 6:30, then it would be right at 6:30 a.m., then 6:30 p.m.
Oh, duh. But that doesn't sound like a very good unbirthday present, does it?
I don't know what an unbirthday is, but. Question 2. What does the Queen of Hearts normally shout when she is very angry with someone?
Off with his head!
Off with his head! Especially in the Johnny Depp one, like
The
the
realistic
live.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
She's
does
very-
say that a lot.
She's very aggressive
She's
with her
int-
off with
she's
his heads.
intimidating.
Yes.
And I like in the cartoon version, I like her henchmen, how they're all cards.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite characters.
Question 3. What is the name of the poem that the Cheshire Cat sings?
The Jabberwocky. Jabberwocky was written by Lewis Carroll and was written backwards in a book Alice finds in Through the Looking Glass. The poem is about a boy who defeats a monster called the Jabberwocky. Oh, Jabberwock.
That was a mouthful. Question 4. What is the name of Alice's cat?
Dinah. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn?
Question 5. As the White Queen is making the potion to return Alice to her normal size, she lists off ingredients. These ingredients are worm fat, urine of horsefly, 3 coins from a dead man's pocket, buttered fingers, and 2 teaspoons of wishful thinking. What is the last thing this queen does to make the potion complete?
She spits in it. After the White Queen says all of the ingredients, she suddenly and unexpectedly spits in the potion and states, "That should do it.
That should do it.
That should do it."
Just what I needed, a little spit.
Mhm.
Question 6. The flowers force Alice out of their garden because they think she is what?
A weed. The flowers become very curious about Alice. They ask her what type of flower she is. When Alice tries to tell them that she is not a flower, they assume she must be a weed.
Fair assumption.
Yeah, totally. Well, she's not a flower, then she's a weed.
Question 7. What game are Alice and the Queen of Hearts playing with flamingos and hedgehogs?
Croquet. The hedgehogs are like really little and they're rolled up in the balls, and
Poor
then
little guys.
they turn the flamingo upside down and use their head to hit.
Poor flamingos. Poor hedgehogs.
Poor both of them.
Round 5. The category is the human body. Question 1. About how many hairs do most people lose every day? Question 2. True or false? Your sense of smell is the strongest in the morning. Question 3. How many breaths does the average person take each day? 2,500, 25,000, or 250,000? Question 4. True or false? Your funny bone isn't really a bone. Question 5. True or false? If you're right-handed, the fingernails on your right hand will grow faster. Question 6. What is the most commonly broken bone in the human body? Question 7. Which organ is responsible for regulating your blood sugar level?
Round 5 answers. Question 1. About how many hairs do most people lose every day?
75 strands. Some days I feel like I lose about 75,000 strands. And my vacuum cleaner says 75 million strands.
I honestly feel like I lose like 20 strands of hair a day.
Yeah, you probably don't lose as many
I know,
as I do.
but the thing is, when you think about how you're combing and your hair is gnarly, then I guess it makes sense. But then you think, you don't lose much hair in the school day, do you?
I don't know. I lose it when I take a shower mostly.
Oh.
Do you not take a shower?
I take a shower. I just don't lose hair then.
Okay.
Question 2. True or false? Your sense of smell is strongest in the morning.
False. Your sense of smell is strongest in the evening, but nobody really knows why. How do you smell right now? Is it really strong?
I can smell my watermelon sucker very well. Ooh. Question 3. How many breaths does the average person take each day? 2,500, 25,000, or 250,000?
25,000 breaths per day.
That's
Imagine
a
the
lot.
person who had to count that. 1, 2, 3.
Question 4. True or false? Your funny bone isn't really a bone.
True. Your funny bone is actually a nerve. It gets its name from the tingling feeling you get after you bump it.
I like bump it on tables sometimes, and it feels so weird.
I don't like it.
Question 5. True or false? If you're right-handed, the fingernails on your right hand will grow faster.
True. Studies show that the nails on your dominant hand grow faster.
So if you're a left hand,
Your left-handed
Yeah.
nails would go faster.
which makes sense. My left hand nails are quite short, but then my right hand nails are slightly longer, but I chew on them, so it's like a bad habit that I really want to stop. Question 6. What's the most commonly broken bone in the human body?
The collarbone.
In
I would have guessed leg
Yeah,
or
or
arm.
arm. I guess elbow or,
Or
wrist.
pinky finger?
Wrist. I would have guessed that. But in first grade, I've only heard of one person that broke a collarbone in our school. In first grade, there was a boy who broke his collarbone and had to put it in a sling.
Grandma broke her collarbone not too long ago.
Which one?
Grandma, my mom. Yeah.
What?
I don't know what she was doing. Fell up the stairs or something.
Fell up the stairs?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know. She tripped going up the stairs. Sorry for telling your secret, Grandma.
Question 7. Which organ is responsible for regulating the blood sugar level?
Pancreas. Blood sugar, or glucose, is the main sugar found in your blood. It comes from the food that you eat and is your body's main source of energy. Your blood carries glucose to all of your body's cells to use for energy. Diabetes is a disease in which your blood sugar levels are too high. I put this in here because I didn't know what a pancreas did. So this was one for me.
So it's the sugar in your blood?
Yeah, it regulates the sugar in your blood.
Oh, it regulates it. That's
Right.
a different thing.
Yes. And now it's time for the final exam. Now remember, you've heard these questions in the previous rounds, but these were the hardest ones we've had. So use your memory and try to think back to what the answers are. Question 1, what is the name of the race that Luca competes in?
The Porta Rosa Cup.
Question 2, the covering at the end of a shoelace is called a what?
Aglet.
Question 3, what is the name of the poem the Cheshire Cat sings?
Jabberwocky.
Question 4, when lightning occurs with a snowstorm, it's called what?
Thundersnow.
Question 5, what is the formation of a word based on the sound associated with it, such as cuckoo, hiccup, sizzle, and ping pong?
Onomatopoeia.
Question 6, how many breaths does the average person take each day?
25,000.
Question 7, which organ is responsible for regulating the blood sugar level?
The pancreas.
Okay, you can go outside and play.
Yay!
I think Dad and I are going to go for a walk. Enjoy these last few beautiful nights before.
It's about September.
It
September's
is
going to
about
be
September.
tomorrow. The 31 is going to be tomorrow.
Right. Almost, though. You're very close. So let's get out there and enjoy, okay?
Yes.
Hey, thank you for your questions and jokes. Please keep them coming. We love them.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Keep listening.
Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Trivia for Kids Podcast. And if you have a question idea or even an entire category, please email us at triviaforkidspodcast@gmail.com.